Wonders of the ocean. The frogfish, masters of underwater disguise. In the mysterious world beneath the waves, where predators and prey constantly play a game of survival, one creature stands out not for its speed or strength, but for its astonishing ability to disappear in plain sight. Meet the frogfish, a master of camouflage, a patient predator, and one of the ocean's strangest looking fish. The frogfish, a member of the angelfish family, is a small, stocky creature that comes in many colors and textures, from bumpy and rough to smooth and sponge-like. Its appearance often mimics the environment it inhabits: corals, sponges, rocks, or seaweed. This camouflage isn't just for defense. It's an essential part of the frogfish's hunting strategy. What makes the frogfish especially unique is its body structure. It has modified pectoral fins that resemble limbs, which it uses to walk along the sea floor. Its body lacks a swim bladder, so it tends to remain near the bottom, blending with its surroundings. Unlike most fish, the frogfish is not an active chaser. Instead, it uses ambush predation. Attached to its head is a modified dorsal spine known as the elysium, tipped with a fleshy lure called the esker. This lure looks like a small worm or shrimp, and is wiggled back and forth to tempt curious prey. When an unsuspecting fish comes close, the frogfish strikes with lightning speed, in as little as 6 milliseconds. It opens its mouth wide, creating a vacuum that sucks the prey in whole. The frogfish has one of the fastest known strike speeds in the animal kingdom. Frogfish can be found in tropical and subtropical oceans around the world, especially in the Indo-Pacific, Caribbean, and parts of the Atlantic. They prefer shallow reef environments where there's plenty of cover, like coral heads, rocks, and sponges. Some species live as deep as 100 meters, while others can be found in tide pools just a few feet below the surface. One of the frogfish's most remarkable talents is its ability to change color to match its environment. Unlike chameleons, which change rapidly, frogfish may take days or even weeks to fully adapt their coloration and texture. Some species can even grow filaments or warty projections on their skin to resemble algae or coral polyps, making them nearly impossible to detect. This perfect disguise helps the frogfish avoid predators and ambush its prey more effectively. Frogfish reproduction is just as unusual as their hunting. When ready to spawn, the female becomes bloated with eggs, sometimes over 100,000 at once. During the brief mating ritual, she releases the eggs in a gelatinous mass, which the male fertilizes. After spawning, the male often becomes aggressive and may even attack or eat the female, so the process must be quick. The fertilized eggs float freely in the ocean until they hatch into larvae, beginning a new life cycle. Frogfish can eat prey as big as themselves. Some frogfish species can inflate their bodies slightly to appear larger. They are poor swimmers, relying on walking or jet propulsion by forcing water through their gills. Despite their weird appearance, they are favorites among underwater photographers due to their bizarre looks and rarity. With its incredible camouflage, bizarre behavior, and lightning-fast hunting, the frogfish proves that in nature, sometimes the strangest strategies are the most effective. A frogfish doesn't bite its prey. It swallows it whole. Its mouth can expand up to 12 times its resting size, creating a vacuum so powerful that prey is sucked in just 6 milliseconds, faster than the blink of an eye. While most frogfish use a fleshy lure to attract prey, some species have reduced or no lure at all. Instead, they rely solely on camouflage and patience to ambush their targets. Frogfish often sway gently with the current, mimicking the movement of sponges or seaweed. This subtle motion helps them blend even more seamlessly into their environment, tricking both predators and prey. One of the most surprising facts about frogfish is that they can consume prey fully as big as their own body. Thanks to their highly flexible jaws and expandable stomachs, they can gulp down fish almost equal in size, a remarkable feat for such a small and odd-looking predator. The clownfish, guardian of the anemone. Bright, bold, and full of personality, the clownfish is one of the most recognizable and beloved marine creatures in the world. Its vibrant orange body striped with white bands has captured the hearts of millions, especially after the release of Finding Nemo. But beyond its popularity, a fascinating story of survival, cooperation, and adaptation in the heart of coral reefs. Clownfish are small, colorful fish that rarely grow longer than 4 inches, 10 centimeters. Most species have a bright orange body with 1 to 3 white vertical stripes, bordered in black. But their appearance can vary depending on the species. Some are yellow, red, pink, or even black. Their rounded fins, blunt snouts, and smooth body make them agile swimmers. However, they are not built for speed. Instead, clownfish rely on shelter and strategy to survive in a world filled with predators. Clownfish are found in warm, shallow waters of the Indian and Pacific Oceans, including the Great Barrier Reef and parts of Southeast Asia. They thrive in coral reefs, where they establish their homes inside sea anemones, stinging animals that most fish avoid. Clownfish and sea anemones share a mutualistic relationship, meaning both benefit from each other. The sea anemone provides the clownfish with protection. Its tentacles are covered with stinging cells called nematocysts, which can paralyze or kill most fish. But clownfish are immune. They develop a special mucus coating on their skin that prevents them from being stung. In return, the clownfish cleans the anemone, removes parasites, and chases away intruders like butterfly fish that might eat the anemone's tentacles. It also brings bits of food to the anemone, keeping their shared home strong and healthy. This incredible partnership is a textbook example of nature's delicate balance. Clownfish may be small, but they're surprisingly territorial and aggressive, especially when defending their anemone home. It also brings bits of food to the anemone, keeping their shared home strong and healthy. This incredible partnership is a textbook example of nature's delicate balance. Clownfish may be small, but they're surprisingly territorial and aggressive, especially when defending their anemone home. One of the most fascinating aspects of clownfish biology is their ability to change gender. All clownfish are born male. If the dominant female in a group dies, the largest male transforms into a female, a process known as sequential hermaphroditism. This ensures the group's survival and continued reproduction, without the need to find a new mate from outside. In a single anemone, only the dominant female and male reproduce, while others wait their turn in line. The male then fertilizes the eggs and guards them fiercely, fanning them with his fins, and keeping them clean until they hatch. After about 6 to 10 days, the larvae emerge and drift away into the open ocean, eventually settling in a new anemone to begin their lives. Clownfish are not just charming, they also play a vital role in reef ecosystems. By cleaning anemones and protecting them from predators, they help maintain the health of coral reef habitats. They're also important indicators of reef health. When coral bleaching or pollution occurs, clownfish populations decline, serving as a warning sign of larger environmental issues. Unfortunately, threats such as climate change, habitat loss, and overcollection for the pet trade are putting pressure on wild clownfish populations. In the vibrant theatre of the coral reef, the clownfish is both actor and protector, defending its home, nurturing its family, and forming one of nature's most iconic partnerships. Behind the clownfish's friendly face lies a world of strategy, science, and survival. It's a reminder that even the smallest creatures can play some of the most important roles in the vast, beautiful world beneath the waves. After clownfish larvae hatch and drift into the open sea, they rely on smell to find their way back to a suitable anemone. They can even detect the chemical scent of the reef where they were born, a remarkable navigational skill for such a tiny creature. The mucus on clownfish skin only prevents them from being stung by the anemone's tentacles. It also helps them build trust with their host. Clownfish go through an acclimation ritual, gently touching the tentacles over time to avoid triggering a stinging response. In areas where divers frequently visit, clownfish have been known to recognize and react to individual humans, showing either curiosity or aggression. This shows their awareness and memory, a rare trait among reef fish. The most famous is the amphiprion ocellaris, the Nemo species, but there are more than 30 recognized species of clownfish, each with its own color pattern, size, and preferred anemone partner. In every group of clownfish, there is a dominant female at the top, followed by a dominant breeding male, and several smaller non-breeding males. If the female dies, the male will change sex to become the new female, and the next male in line will move up. This size-based hierarchy keeps the group stable, and reduces conflict. Not all clownfish live in any anemone. Each clownfish species is limited to only a few types of sea anemones, and some are compatible with only one. For example, Amphiprion ocellaris prefers Heteractis magnifica or Stichodactyla giganta. This specific pairing is called host specificity. The brightness of clownfish colors can change over time. Juveniles are often duller in color. Adults develop brighter hues as they mature. In different regions, even the same species may look slightly different, a result of local genetics and environment. After finding Nemo, Demand for clownfish in home aquariums skyrocketed. This led to overcollection in some areas, harming local populations. Today, most clownfish in pet stores come from captive breeding, which helps protect wild ecosystems. The mackerel, silver arrows of the ocean. Sleek, fast, shimmering like polished chrome under sunlight. This is the mackerel, one of the ocean's most agile and efficient swimmers. With its streamlined body and forked tail, the mackerel is built for speed, gliding through the open sea in massive skulls that can stretch for miles. Sleek, fast, shimmering like polished chrome under sunlight. This is the mackerel, one of the ocean's most agile and efficient swimmers. With its streamlined body and forked tail, the mackerel is built for speed, gliding through the open sea in massive skulls that can stretch for miles. Their bodies are torpedo-shaped, covered in tiny scales, and designed to minimize drag. With a powerful forked tail and a row of small finlets near the tail for added propulsion, mackerel can reach speeds of over 5 meters per second. They must constantly swim to push water over their gills. Standing still means suffocating. Only a small percentage survive, but those that do grow rapidly and join the great migratory schools. Spawning often occurs near coasts, in warm waters during spring and summer. This reproductive success explains why mackerel populations can recover quickly, though they still face challenges from overfishing and climate change. Mackerel have been a staple of the human diet for centuries. They are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, and protein, making them not just delicious, but also highly nutritious. In many cultures, mackerel is smoked, grilled, salted, or canned. Fisheries around the world harvest them in large quantities, especially in Japan, Norway, the UK, and Vietnam. However, some mackerel species are now under pressure from industrial fishing. Sustainable management is crucial to preserve this essential food source for future generations. In many cultures, mackerel is smoked, grilled, salted, or canned. Fisheries around the world harvest them in large quantities, especially in Japan, Norway, the UK, and Vietnam. Despite being fast swimmers, mackerel rely heavily on olfactory memory. They can remember the scent of waters where they've previously spawned, helping them return to the same breeding grounds year after year. A remarkable navigational ability for such small fish. From the Atlantic mackerel to the Indian mackerel, there are more than 30 known species in the Scombridae family. Each species has its own migration pattern, preferred temperature range, and spawning behavior, making mackerel incredibly diverse. Mackerel must constantly swim to survive, and to fuel this activity, they have a high-speed metabolism. They digest food very quickly, and must feed often, making them one of the hungriest mid-sized fish in the sea. From the Atlantic mackerel to the Indian mackerel, there are more than 30 known species in the Scombridae family. Each species has its own migration pattern, preferred temperature range, and spawning behavior, making mackerel incredibly diverse. Mackerel must constantly swim to survive, and to fuel this activity, they have a high-speed metabolism. They digest food very quickly, and must feed often, making them one of the hungriest mid-sized fish in the sea. Mackerel are considered one of the healthiest fish for human consumption. They are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which support heart health, reduce inflammation, and are essential for brain development. For this reason, mackerel is widely used in diets around the world and recommended by nutritionists. Unlike many other fish, mackerel decomposes rapidly after being caught due to its high fat content. This makes it important to process or refrigerate mackerel immediately to maintain freshness, a fact well known among fishermen. The parrotfish, the panthers of the ocean. Beneath the waves, among the dazzling colors of coral reefs, lives a truly unique marine creature, the parrotfish. With its vivid colors and peculiar beak-like mouth, this fish is not only a visual delight, but also one of the most important species in maintaining the health of coral reef ecosystems. The parrotfish gets its name from its distinctive teeth, which are fused together to form a structure resembling a parrot's beak. This beak is perfectly adapted to its main diet, algae and dead coral, also known as coralline algae. But that's not all. As the parrotfish feeds, it also ingests bits of coral rock. These crushed pieces of calcium carbonate are broken down in its digestive system and eventually excreted as fine, white sand. In fact, a single adult parrotfish can produce hundreds of pounds of sand each year, contributing to the formation of tropical beaches. So the soft sand you walk on during your beach vacation, it might have passed through the gut of a parrotfish. But that's not all. As the parrotfish feeds, it also ingests bits of coral rock. These crushed pieces of calcium carbonate are broken down in its digestive system and eventually excreted as fine, white sand. They come in a dazzling array of colors, bright blues, pinks, greens, and purples, often changing color as they grow or change gender. Some parrotfish even change sex during their lifetime, a biological process known as sequential hermaphroditism. This ability helps maintain balance in the population when males or females become scarce. When the dominant male dies, the most dominant female can transform into a male, taking over his role in the social hierarchy. This slimy barrier may serve multiple purposes. It hides their scent from predators like Murray eels, and also acts as a shield against parasites. Their social structure is also fascinating. Parrotfish often live in small groups with a dominant male and several females. The dominant male is usually the most brightly colored and takes on the responsibility of mating and defending the group. Despite their ecological importance, parrotfish face increasing threats from overfishing, habitat destruction, and climate change. When the dominant male dies, the most dominant female can transform into a male, taking over his role in the social hierarchy. Conservation efforts are underway in many regions to protect parrotfish populations. Some marine protected areas ban the fishing of parrotfish, recognizing their crucial role in the reef ecosystem. Public awareness campaigns have also helped people understand that protecting these fish means protecting the future of coral reefs, and ultimately, the planet's marine life. In the Grand Underwater Orchestra, parrotfish play multiple roles: caretakers of coral, sand producers, gender-shifting marvels, and colorful wonders. So next time you swim through a coral reef or feel soft sand between your toes, remember the quiet but vital work of the parrotfish, the reef's unsung hero, tirelessly shaping the underwater world, one bite at a time. Interestingly, parrotfish are also known to produce sounds while feeding, a distinctive crunching noise as they bite and grind the coral. These sounds, audible to divers, are a signature of a healthy reef filled with feeding activity. Some species of parrotfish can live for over 20 years, depending on environmental conditions. Over time, they may go through several color phases, from dull tones in their juvenile stage to striking hues in adulthood, which can also signal social status or mating readiness. The sea snake, a strange friend underwater. Sea snakes are among the most fascinating and mysterious creatures found in the world's oceans. Belonging to the subfamily Hydrophinae, they are a group of venomous snakes adapted to life in marine environments. Unlike their terrestrial relatives, sea snakes have evolved specialized features to thrive underwater, making them one of the most successful reptilian species in the marine world. Sea snakes are generally slender and elongated, with lengths ranging from 1 to 2 meters, although some species can grow longer. One of the most distinctive features of sea snakes is their flattened paddle-like tail, which aids in swimming. This is made possible by their highly efficient lungs, which extend almost the entire length of their bodies. Additionally, sea snakes can absorb a small amount of oxygen through their skin, a rare feature among reptiles. Sea snakes are found primarily in warm coastal waters of the Indo-Pacific region, especially around Australia, Southeast Asia, and the Indian Ocean. They prefer shallow waters near coral reefs, estuaries, and mangroves, where food is abundant and conditions are favorable for breeding. They are rarely seen in the open ocean, although a few species, such as the yellow-bellied sea snake Hydrophis platyrus, are known to live in pelagic zones far from shore. These snakes have even been spotted thousands of kilometers away from land, drifting with ocean currents. Hunting is done primarily by sight, although some species also use chemical cues to locate hidden prey. They are skilled divers, often slithering into crevices in coral reefs or burrowing in the sand to surprise unsuspecting prey. Interestingly, sea snakes often hunt during the day, especially in shallow reef environments. Their movements are slow and deliberate, conserving energy while stalking fish. Once they locate their target, they strike with incredible speed and precision. Sea snakes are among the most venomous snakes on Earth. Their venom contains powerful neurotoxins and myotoxins that can cause paralysis and muscle breakdown. However, sea snakes are not aggressive by nature. They tend to avoid humans and will only bite if provoked, threatened, or are handled. The Moorish idol, the elegant star of the reef. In the vibrant world of coral reefs, where colors dance beneath the sunlit waves, few fish are as instantly recognizable and admired as the Moorish idol. With its graceful shape, bold stripes of black, white, and yellow, and its long trailing dorsal fin, this species has captured the imagination of divers, aquarists, and even filmmakers. Known scientifically as Xanthus cornutus, the Moorish idol is not only one of the most iconic reef fish, but also one of the most fascinating examples of marine beauty and symbolism. The Moorish idol is a relatively small fish, usually measuring around 18 to 23 centimeters in length, though its long dorsal fin can make it appear much larger. Its body is flat and disc-shaped, with bold contrasting stripes that run vertically, black bands, white zones, and a bright splash of yellow near the tail. The most striking feature is its elongated dorsal filament, which trails like a ribbon as the fish glides effortlessly through the water. This feature not only enhances its elegance, but also helps it stand out against the colorful backdrop of corals. Divers often notice them in shallow areas, where their bold colors shine brightly under natural sunlight. However, despite their beauty, they are notoriously difficult to keep in aquariums, as they require very specific diets and water conditions. This makes them more admired in the wild than in captivity. In terms of behavior, Moorish idols are calm, slow swimmers, often seen pecking at corals, sponges, and small invertebrates for food. Their long, narrow snouts and small mouths allow them to reach into crevices of the reef that other fish cannot access. This makes them important for maintaining the balance of reef ecosystems, as they help control sponge growth and contribute to the reef's biodiversity. They are also social creatures, frequently seen in pairs, sometimes believed to mate for life, which adds to their symbolism of harmony and companionship. The name Moorish idol has cultural significance. The word Moorish is linked to the Moors of North Africa, and in some traditions, this fish is thought to bring happiness and good luck. Its striking appearance and symbolic meaning have made it popular in art, folklore, and modern media. For example, the Moorish idol became widely recognized by audiences worldwide through the character Gil animated film Finding Nemo. This exposure has turned it into one of the best-known reef fish even among people who have never visited the ocean. While it is not currently considered endangered, scientists emphasize the importance of protecting coral reefs to ensure that species like the Moorish idol continue to thrive. Their presence is not only a delight to divers, but also a key indicator of healthy reef ecosystems. In conclusion, the Moorish idol is far more than just a pretty fish with striking stripes. It is a living symbol of elegance, resilience, and cultural meaning, from its graceful movements in the ocean to its symbolic association with good fortune. It stands out as one of the ocean's true icons. Observing a Moorish idol gliding across a coral reef is a reminder of the beauty and fragility of marine life, and of our responsibility to protect these wonders for future generations. The mandarinfish, living rainbow of the reef. Among the many dazzling creatures that inhabit coral reefs, few can rival the beauty and mystery of the mandarinfish, scientifically known as Syncheropus splendidus. Often called the jewel of the reef, this tiny fish has become one of the most admired species in the ocean due to its extraordinary colors, unusual behaviors, and unique biological traits. Though small in size, usually only around 6 to 8 centimeters long, the mandarinfish captures the attention of divers, aquarists, and marine biologists alike. This makes the mandarinfish one of only a few animals in the world capable of naturally producing such a bright blue hue. Its large, protruding eyes and dragon-like head give it a somewhat mythical look, adding to its charm. Mandarinfish live in the warm, shallow waters of the Pacific Ocean, particularly around coral reefs in regions such as the Philippines, Indonesia, and Australia. They are shy and secretive, spending much of their time hidden among rubble and coral branches. Because of their small size and secretive nature, spotting one in the wild is considered a special treat for divers. Unlike many reef fish, mandarinfish are poor swimmers, preferring to stay close to the seafloor, where they forage for tiny crustaceans and worms. Interestingly, mandarinfish also lack traditional fish scales. Instead, their bodies are covered with a thick, slimy mucus that serves as a protective barrier against parasites and predators. This slime has a strong, unpleasant odor, making the fish less attractive to potential threats. It is an unusual but highly effective defense mechanism, and it adds another layer to the fish's uniqueness. In conclusion, the mandarinfish is a small but extraordinary creature, combining breathtaking beauty with fascinating biological traits. From its vibrant colors to its romantic mating dance and its clever survival strategies, this tiny fish is truly one of nature's living gems. Encountering a mandarinfish or a coral reef is not just a moment of wonder, but also a reminder of the incredible diversity and creativity of life beneath the sea. The trumpetfish, the ambush artist of the ocean. Beneath the clear waters of coral reefs and lagoons, one of the ocean's most unusual predators quietly glides among the corals. This is the trumpetfish, scientifically known as Ulostomus chinensis. With its long, pipe-like body and unusual hunting strategies, the trumpetfish is both mysterious and captivating. While it may not dazzle with bright colors, like some reef fish, it impresses observers with its elegance, camouflage, and highly specialized way of life. The trumpetfish can reach lengths of up to 80 centimeters, though it remains incredibly slender, often no wider than a few centimeters across. Its body resembles a musical instrument, which is how it earned its common name. At the end of its elongated snout lies a small, circular mouth designed for one purpose: feeding with precision. Instead of chasing prey, the trumpetfish relies on stealth and technique. By expanding its tubular mouth rapidly, it creates a sudden vacuum that sucks in small fish and crustaceans in the blink of an eye. What truly makes the trumpetfish fascinating is its skill as a master of disguise. Unlike fast hunters, such as barracudas or jacks, the trumpetfish prefers patience. It often swims slowly in a vertical position, aligning its body with corals, sea fans, or long sponges, where it becomes nearly invisible. Divers often find themselves surprised when they realize that what appeared to be part of the reef is actually a trumpetfish waiting to hunt. Another remarkable ability of the trumpetfish is its capacity to change colors. Depending on its surroundings, it can shift from shades of brown and green to bright yellows or reddish tones. This not only enhances its camouflage, but also helps it communicate with other trumpetfish. Color changes can indicate stress, aggression, or readiness to mate, making their body patterns an important part of their behavior. Trumpetfish have distributed widely across the tropical and subtropical waters of the Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific Oceans. They are particularly common in the Indo-Pacific region, where coral reefs provide the perfect environment for their hunting style. Their ecological role in the reef is significant. By feeding on small reef fish, they help maintain balance in fish populations, preventing any one species from becoming too dominant. For divers, spotting a trumpetfish is often a highlight of a reef exploration, as it requires patience and a keen eye to notice them among the corals. For scientists, the trumpetfish provides insight into the evolution of camouflage, hunting techniques, and reef dynamics. Its unique behavior makes it a valuable species for studying adaptation and survival in complex ecosystems. In conclusion, the trumpetfish is far more than just a long, pipe-shaped fish. It is a silent hunter, a master of disguise, and an elegant symbol of the ocean's creativity. Its extraordinary hunting strategies, color-changing abilities, and ecological importance make it one of the most fascinating residents of coral reefs. The blue tang, bright star of the ocean. The blue tang, scientifically known as Paracanthurus hepatus, is one of the most recognizable fish of the tropical Indo-Pacific. With its brilliant royal blue body, contrasting black markings, and a vibrant yellow tail, this species stands out as one of the ocean's most colorful reef inhabitants. This fish is usually found among coral reefs, where it glides gracefully through the water in search of algae. Growing up to 30 centimeters in length, the blue tang plays a very important ecological role. By feeding on algae, it helps prevent the overgrowth of seaweed, maintaining the delicate balance that allows coral reefs to thrive. Behaviorally, blue tangs are known for their schooling habits. They often swim in small groups, which provides them with protection against predators. When threatened, they can wedge themselves into coral crevices or display the sharp spines located near their tail, a unique defense mechanism of surgeonfish species. Despite their fragile appearance, these spines can be quite effective deterrents. Although beautiful, they require large tanks and special care, making them unsuitable for beginner aquarists. These fish may be small, but they play a big role in maintaining the reef's health. By feeding on algae, they prevent seaweed from spreading uncontrollably. Without fish like the blue tang, coral reefs could quickly be overwhelmed and suffocated by algae growth. The life cycle of the blue tang begins in open water, where tiny larvae drift with plankton before settling on the reef. As juveniles, they are bright yellow in color and only gradually develop the striking blue and black pattern of adults. This transformation is one of the most fascinating aspects of their biology. Beyond their ecological importance, blue tangs have become famous in popular culture, largely due to their appearance in animated films. However, this fame has also brought challenges. Increased demand for them in the aquarium trade, combined with threats like coral reef destruction and climate change, has put pressure on their populations. While not currently endangered, they remind us of the need to protect reef ecosystems. Beyond their ecological importance, blue tangs have become famous in popular culture, largely due to their appearance in animated films. The butterfly fish, graceful wanderer of the coral. Graceful, colorful, and instantly eye-catching, butterfly fish are among the most iconic reef dwellers of the tropical oceans. Belonging to the family Chaetodontidae, these fish are named for their delicate appearance and striking colors, which resemble the wings of butterflies. With their flattened, disc-shaped bodies and intricate patterns of stripes, spots, or vivid hues of yellow, orange, black, and blue, they are often considered living jewels of the reef. Butterfly fish are usually small, ranging from 12 to 20 centimeters in length, and they possess a long, narrow snout perfectly adapted for reaching into tiny crevices of corals. Their diet mainly consists of coral polyps, algae, and small invertebrates. In this way, they play an important role in maintaining the delicate balance of coral reef ecosystems. When threatened, butterfly fish often rely on their agility and camouflage. Some species display large eye-like spots on their bodies, confusing predators and giving them a chance to escape. Butterfly fish inhabit the warm waters of the Indo-Pacific, Atlantic, and Red Sea. Coral reefs, lagoons, and shallow coastal zones are their preferred homes, where they glide gracefully among branching corals. However, because they depend heavily on healthy coral ecosystems, butterfly fish populations are sensitive indicators of reef health. Coral bleaching, overfishing, and habitat destruction pose significant threats to their survival. Beyond their beauty, butterfly fish hold many fascinating secrets. Their name comes from their vivid colors and delicate patterns, which resemble the wings of butterflies gliding through the reef. Many species display a full-size spot near the tail, a clever trick that confuses predators and gives them a chance to escape. Unlike many other reef fish, butterfly fish are known for their loyalty. Most species form lifelong pairs, swimming together side by side. At night, their colors fade or darken, acting like a natural disguise that helps them blend into the reef and stay safe while resting. Their long, narrow snouts and tiny bristle-like teeth allow them to feed on coral polyps and hidden invertebrates that few other fish can reach. Though small in size, usually less than 20 centimeters, butterfly fish are among the most noticeable fish in the ocean, thanks to their striking hues. With more than 120 species found mainly in the Indo-Pacific, they are not only a favorite among divers and aquarists, but also serve as indicators of reef health. Where butterfly fish thrive, coral reefs are alive and flourishing. Butterfly fish are not only admired for their beauty, but also for the many fascinating traits that make them unique. Their name reflects their vivid colors and patterns, resembling the wings of butterflies drifting gracefully across coral gardens. Many species display a full-size spot near the tail, a clever adaptation that confuses predators, while their real eyes are often hidden by a dark band across the head. Remarkably, most butterfly fish form lifelong pairs, swimming together side by side as symbols of love and harmony. At night, their brilliant patterns fade into darker shades, giving them camouflage as they rest safely within the reef. Juveniles are almost completely transparent when they first hatch, an effective shield against predators. Though small in size, usually under 20 centimeters, they are bold defenders of their territory, often chasing away rivals from their chosen coral patch. Their thin, flat bodies allow them to slip quickly into narrow reef crevices, while their long, narrow snouts and bristle-like teeth make them specialists at reaching tiny coral polyps and hidden invertebrates. Some species even produce clicking sounds during courtship or territorial defense, an almost secret form of communication beneath the waves. Fossil evidence shows that butterflyfish have been part of reef ecosystems for at least 50 million years, making them ancient guardians of coral worlds. For divers and snorkelers, spotting a butterflyfish darting elegantly between corals is a moment of wonder. Beyond their beauty, they serve as vital reminders of the fragility and interconnectedness of marine life. Protecting butterflyfish means protecting coral reefs, the beating heart of the ocean. The damselfish, little guardians of the reef. Among the colorful residents of coral reefs, the damselfish stands out as one of the most energetic and fascinating, belonging to the family Pomacentridae. Damselfish are small, usually ranging from 6 to 15 centimeters in length, but they more than make up for their size with bold personalities. Their bodies are often brightly colored in shades of yellow, blue, or orange, making them easy to spot darting among corals and rocky crevices. Damselfish play an important role in the balance of reef ecosystems. Many species feed on algae, carefully tending patches of it like underwater farmers. Afterward, the male guards the nest, fanning the eggs with his fins to provide oxygen and chasing away any potential threats until the young hatch. Damselfish also have interesting social structures. Some live alone, protecting their territory, while others form small groups. During breeding season, males clear a space on the reef and carefully prepare it for the female to lay her eggs. Damselfish are not overly visually striking, but also full of surprising behaviors that make them one of the most interesting residents of coral reefs. Despite their small size, they are remarkably bold, often chasing away much larger fish, such as parrotfish or butterflyfish, to defend their territory. Some species are skilled underwater farmers, cultivating algae gardens on the reef and protecting them aggressively from intruders. Juvenile damselfish are often brightly colored in vivid blues or yellows, a display that gradually fades as they mature. Yet even adult fish retain patterns that help them blend into their coral homes. These fish are found widely across the Indo-Pacific and the Caribbean, thriving in shallow reef environments where sunlight and coral growth are abundant. Their adaptability and abundance make them a key species for marine researchers studying reef health and dynamics. For snorkelers and divers, watching damselfish is always a delight. Their dazzling colors, bold personalities, and important ecological role remind us that even the smallest creatures of the reef can have the biggest impact on its survival. The seahorse, little legend of the ocean. In the shallow, sunlit waters of seagrass beds, coral reefs, and mangroves, one of the ocean's most enchanting and unusual creatures can be found, the seahorse. Belonging to the genus Hippocampus, seahorses are instantly recognizable for their horse-like heads, curling tails, and upright posture, unlike most other fish. With over 40 species distributed worldwide, they are small in size, ranging from less than 2 centimeters to over 30 centimeters, but they have captured human fascination for centuries because of their delicate beauty and mysterious way of life. Seahorses are masters of camouflage. Their bony, armored bodies and skin filaments allow them to blend seamlessly into seagrasses, corals, and sponges. Some species can even change color to match their surroundings, protecting themselves from predators such as crabs and larger fish. Their unusual method of swimming also makes them unique. Instead of darting like other fish, seahorses propel themselves with the rapid flutter of a tiny dorsal fin on their back, while small pectoral fins near their head help with steering. During courtship, which can last 4 days, a pair of seahorses performs a beautiful dance, changing colors and swimming in synchrony. The female then deposits her eggs into a specialized brood pouch on the male's abdomen. Here, the male fertilizes and nurtures the eggs, providing oxygen and nutrients until they hatch. After weeks of carrying the developing young, the male goes into labor, releasing dozens or even hundreds of tiny, fully formed baby seahorses into the water. Seahorses feed primarily on tiny crustaceans like copepods, plankton, and small shrimp. With their long, tube-shaped snouts, they suck in prey with lightning speed, capable of snapping up food in less than a millisecond. They must eat constantly, up to 3,000 tiny pieces of food per day, because they lack stomachs and digest their meals very quickly. Despite their fragile appearance, seahorses are efficient hunters, using patience and stealth to ambush prey drifting in the currents. Seahorses move very slowly, mainly using their small dorsal fin to propel themselves, and often anchor to seagrass or coral with their tails. Each eye can move independently, allowing them to watch for prey and predators at the same time. Seahorses are a remarkably diverse group of fish, with over 70 known species identified so far. They inhabit a variety of environments, ranging from shallow coastal waters and coral reefs to seagrass beds and mangroves. Each species has adapted uniquely to its habitat. Some are tiny, measuring just a few centimeters, while others grow much larger. Their shapes, colors, and even behaviors vary widely, allowing them to thrive in different marine ecosystems across the globe. From the warm tropical waters of Southeast Asia to the temperate seas off the coast of Europe and North America. Despite their fascinating adaptations, many seahorse species face significant threats. Habitat destruction, such as the loss of seagrass beds and coral reefs, has dramatically reduced the areas where they can live and breed. These creatures are found in shallow coastal waters around the world, from the Indo-Pacific to the Atlantic. They prefer habitats rich in vegetation, such as seagrass meadows and coral reefs, which provide shelter and hunting grounds. However, seahorses face many threats today. Habitat destruction pollution, climate change, and overfishing have caused severe declines in their populations. They are also collected in large numbers for use in traditional medicine, aquarium trade, and as souvenirs. Because of this, many species are now listed as vulnerable or endangered, making conservation efforts crucial for their survival. For humans, seahorses have long been symbols of mystery and wonder. In ancient Greek mythology, they were considered sacred to Poseidon, the god of the sea, and often depicted pulling his chariot across the waves. Seahorses may be small, but they embody resilience, adaptability, and beauty. By protecting their fragile habitats, we not only safeguard these extraordinary fish, but also preserve the balance of the coastal ecosystems they call home. In the story of the seahorse is a delicate guardian, reminding us that even the tiniest creatures can carry the greatest wonders.